I'm Steve Scheinman, president of the board of directors of the Skaneateles Festival, and this is the SkanFest podcast, an interview series for the Skaneateles Festival. We are a summer concert series based in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York during the month of August. This year, we are presenting our 46th season. On the podcast, we spend time getting to know our visiting artists who travel the world making music of the highest caliber. While this is our 46th season of presenting concerts in Skaneateles, it's only our second season interviewing artists. Even so, today I have the pleasure of welcoming back our first repeat guests, co-artistic directors of the festival, Aaron Wunsch and Julia Bruskin. Thanks for coming by.
So great to be here.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be here again.
It's great to have you here. So the purpose of today is to give listeners an overview of the festival and to go into some specifics about all of the brilliant programming taking place this year. But first, I'd love it if you could both reintroduce yourselves. I would also refer listeners to our very first episode to learn details about Aaron and Julie's background in music, how they met, and how they came to join us here at SkanFest. For the moment, just tell us who you are, what you do when you aren't with the festival in upstate New York, and what you do for the festival.
Sure. Well, my name is Julie Bruskin, and my co-artistic director here, Aaron Wunsch. We are also married. When we're not here at the festival, I do a few different things. I play with a piano trio called the Claremont Trio, and I also play in the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra. So those two things, and also being mother to wonderful Gabriel and Clara, keep me pretty busy.
And I'm Aaron. I'm a pianist. I concertize, but I'm also teaching full-time at the Juilliard School in New York City. I also direct a concert series there, a free series called Music Mondays. And when possible, Julie and I perform together, although it's tough to find time sometimes. And also, of course, spend time with our wonderful kids who are here and eager to attend as many concerts as they possibly can.
Well, thank you both. And I just want to express my gratitude for the leadership you provide for the festival.
Yeah, well, we're so excited to be back in Skaneateles. I think this is our 11th year as artistic directors, and it's really become kind of a second home for us. We love the community here. We love the lake and the surroundings. It's a really special place to make and to hear music. So.
Well, we certainly think so, yes. So we asked you this question last year, but you summed it up so well then that we're going to ask it again this year. Could you give us your 60-second elevator pitch for the festival to a potential audience member?
Sure. I don't remember what I said last year, but I'll go for it anyway. I'm going to keep it simple to start. The music, the setting, and the people. 3 things which I think are really central ingredients. Let's start with the music. It's why most people come to begin with. And we do try to create a festival that has music for everybody, regardless of your background, your experience level with different kinds of music. We want you to feel comfortable here, to come to hear classical music in an intimate setting, to come to hear jazz outdoors at the beautiful Robinson Pavilion, to hear world music, something unexpected you haven't heard before. So all of that is sort of the starting point, I would say. The setting here is truly beautiful. If you haven't been here, you're going to fall in love with it. You can't find a more picturesque place as the village of Skaneateles. Whether you're outdoors at Aniela's Vineyards, at the Robinson Pavilion, or if you come indoors at the First Presbyterian, the lake is right across the street. You're not going to miss it. It's right here with us. And then finally, the people. And that includes the musicians, the staff, board members, board president like Steve, to everyone behind the scenes working here, and also your fellow listeners. They're really people who are so interesting. Our lives have been really enriched just by talking with people at the concerts. And I would really encourage everybody to do that. You're going to meet interesting people. You'll have something to talk about because of the music. And before you know it, you have 30 new friends. I don't know if I was under 60 seconds, but that's the best I can do.
I wasn't timing it, but it sounded perfect.
Well, I'm just going to jump in with my little follow-up. we have an amazing array of artists coming this summer. I like to pride myself on thinking every summer we have an amazing array of artists, but this summer is really special. And you could, I mean, in this day and age, you could go on your phone and you could find all of these artists and listen to them play, and you would have a great time. But there's something really special about coming in person and hearing these artists, seeing what they're doing as they make their music, being part of this kind of collective experience of the music. And I would say that I think there's so many opportunities in this coming month to come and really be blown away, have your like life-changing moments, I find when I go to concerts. And so, I've listened to all these artists, their recordings, everything, but to come and be with us in this setting, to hear them live is something really special. So we don't want you to miss it.
Yes, I would endorse that. And another thing you can do at this festival you can't do everywhere is to interact with the artists. For many of the concerts, there's the opportunity just to talk to them.
Yes.
Yeah, and we really encourage people to do just that. Musicians love to speak with those who are listening to their music and hear about that, connect. Connection is such a big part of why we do what we do as performers, to connect with other people. So yeah, we'd really encourage audience members to come up and say hi.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the details this year's festival. I wonder if you could lead off by talking about any unifying themes or through lines that you've planned for this year, and maybe talk about some of the specific concerts that you're excited about.
Sure. Well, this summer we have a really wonderful theme that we're calling Listen to the Wind. Listen to the Wind is actually from a Native American proverb. And this theme basically takes our incredible surroundings that we've been talking about already, our setting right on the lake, and celebrates the beauty of nature that is around us, that inspires our musicians as they come into town. They drive and they say, wow, this place is amazing. To celebrate what we all some days take for granted, and really lift that up. Also to think about how we can protect and preserve that natural beauty for the generations to come, so that in 50 more years, when the festival is still going, it's just as beautiful and you can still jump in the lake. And also just thinking about the people who've lived on this land many, many generations longer than we have, the Onondaga County, the Onondaga Nation here, and we're bringing a few members from the nation here to be part of the festival and to learn from them about what they know about this land, why they love it, and how they have preserved it for generations. So I think that's a really exciting kind of entry point, and we've really had fun finding music that connects to that theme in various ways. Starting right out with this Saturday's first Skaneateles Festival Orchestra concert on August 2nd, which we're calling Listen to the Wind. It starts off with one of Vivaldi's iconic seasons. He wrote 4 seasons, 4 little violin concertos that each kind of tell a programmatic story about each season. So this one, we chose summer. How could you not? And it has a really very vivid depiction of kind of the heat of summer, then a coming storm, the fury of the storm, and then kind of the aftermath. So it's really a fun piece. We'll also have a wonderful new piece by composer Chris Theophanitis for strings and harpsichord. And then we feature terrific pianist So-Yun Kate Lee in Chopin's Second Piano Concerto. That's a terrific piece, really virtuosic and lyrical and thrilling.
And the program ends with a symphony by Mendelssohn. He was inspired to write it. It's known as the Scottish Symphony because of a trip to Scotland. He went there and was just blown away by the natural beauty of the place, the history of it, and those feelings found their way into this glorious symphony. It's such a magical piece of music, and it'll be a great way to experience it outdoors, we hope, at the vineyards, weather pending.
So that's very exciting. Are there any new collaborations or composers in residence that you'd like to highlight?
This summer, we're so excited to feature Chickasaw composer Jared Impichaha Tate, who has written a new piece for the festival. We'll be premiering at the second Skaneateles Festival Orchestra concert on August 16th. And that piece depicts 4 woodland animals, a squirrel and a raccoon and different things that are used in Native American folklore, and is a really fun kind of adventure for orchestra. So he'll be also coming later in the festival and doing some collaborations with the Jasper Quartet. They'll be performing his work called Moonstrike, and they'll do that for one of our Kids Fest concerts as well as a free outreach concert at the Auburn Public Theater. So he's someone we're really excited to be working with, and bringing new music to the festival.
And there are other nature-inspired works on our programs throughout the whole season. We won't recite them all now, but you can find them, almost whenever you come to a concert, you'll experience something that ties back to that theme.
And we're doing something quite unusual. On Tuesday, August 5th, we're actually taking the music out into the nature. We're doing a musical nature walk out at Baltimore Woods Nature Center. We will have an Onondaga Nation flutist, Curtis Waterman, as well as our Robinson Award winner, Abigail Feng, and our emerging artists in residence, Ziggy and Miles, a guitar duo. And they'll each be at different stations along a beautiful, about 20 to 30 minute nature walk. So we encourage families, or it's a very accessible walk to come and experience music out in nature on August 5th.
Yes. And when I think about these wonderful events, the wonderful artists you bring in, the marquee names that you haven't even mentioned yet, like Bella Fleck and Bill Charlap and Esperanza Spalding, I marvel every year at the quality of world-class artists that you bring here. And I'm wondering how you do it. How do you engage them? How do you interest them in the festival? How do you manage to book them here?
Well, it's a really exciting process.
Oh, it starts with support and enthusiasm from the community directly. First of all, the ability to afford some of these artists is important. The open-mindedness of listeners here, that they're willing to hear, classical chamber music followed by Esperanza Spalding, which a lot of people are, and that's not true everywhere. After that, it has to do with persistence and some luck, I would say. So a lot of these artists, like Esperanza Spalding, we've been asking for many years, like maybe 10 years. It hasn't worked out yet, but this year was the year. And that's been true of other artists we've had along the way, that we, if we had said from the beginning, we could never have that person, we would never know, could we or couldn't we? So a lot of it is just having the persistence to ask. We need 3 or 4 marquee people a season, but we need to ask like 20 or more. And just
persistence with the managers. This year doesn't work out, but next year we have this neat project, and
Yeah, and you start to cultivate a relationship with the manager. If you're lucky, we have a chance sometimes to meet the artists themselves. I think of the time when Julie made a recording session with Wynton Marsalis and had the opportunity to work with him and meet him. And then when we reached out about the festival, he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember. That was a great project we did." And there's a little more willingness maybe to give this a try. And once people come here, we're confident that they're going to want to come back, which has truly happened. I mean, you think about Bela Fleck, he's been here before. Mark and Maggie O'Connor have been here before.
Bill Charlap.
Bill Charlap is coming for the second time, and we hope Esperanza will have a good experience here. And that's part of our role too, is to welcome them and try to make them feel at home, and give them as positive an experience here as we possibly can.
Great. So you've done a little of this, but can you talk a little more about the free events this year, the outreach events, and the focus of SkanFest U?
Sure. Well, we're very excited to, again, have a nice array of different free outreach events in the community, in the surrounding areas from Skaneateles. We have, in our second week of the festival, we have our emerging artists in residence, Ziggy and Miles, guitar duo, who will be doing a lot of outreach events that week. We start right off on Monday, August 4th, with a performance at the Kendall in Ithaca, and they'll be playing at the Galazzano Children's Hospital at SUNY Upstate on Tuesday, August 5th. They'll be with us for the Baltimore Woods event, the free nature walk. Then they're doing a concert at May Memorial on Wednesday, August 6th, and they're also playing at the Seymour Library in Auburn on the 7th. So there's a full schedule on our website. You can check it all out, but that'll be really wonderful to hear them in many different locations. And then also the other free event that I mentioned with the Jasper Quartet and Jared Tate on Friday, August 22nd at the Auburn Public Theater. So really all throughout the area, lots of opportunities to hear free music.
Yeah, it's really a privilege to be able to take the music here from Skaneateles and bring it to a wider region. That's been a goal of ours and the festival over the last few years, and it's very exciting to see that happening, and us even returning to some of these places in the community and having audience that say, "Oh yeah, I remember last year." And so we're trying to widen what the festival does and bring it to as many people as we can.
And of course, there are the 2 children's events.
Yeah, so we have our wonderful Kids Fest events. The first one this coming Friday morning, August 1st at 10 o'clock at the church with an amazing group, Ruckus. They're playing our opening night concert, and they're just a blast. They're a Baroque ensemble that also brings new music and connects it with Baroque things, and they just, it's a romp. It's a wild Ruckus romp. So they're doing the first Kids Fest event, and the last one is in our last week on Saturday, August 23rd with Jared Tate and the Jasper Quartet. So those are wonderful events, free for kids, $5 for adults, and we encourage everyone to come and try it out because they're very interactive and dynamic, and great way to get the next generation of listeners started.
Yes, we bring our grandkids every year, as you know, and they're already talking about it.
And our educational events are free as well. And we hope people will come out for that. This year, we call it SkanFest U. So it's focused on learning about music, exploring music. And this year, it's called Music and Nature, which fits our theme. But I'm fascinated about the many, many connections between how people appreciate nature and how they appreciate music. And the ways that composers were inspired by nature and some of the ways we've already mentioned. Throughout history, people have used the approach to nature as if it's artistic, as if it's has aesthetic beauty in it. That's true of music. And people also value how nature inspires in us thoughts and feelings that we wouldn't otherwise have, which is also true of music. And so we're going to be looking at a lot of the music in the festival, works like Vivaldi's Seasons, but also works that just are classics of music and nature, like Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony. There will be live performances each week with festival artists, little kind of sneak previews of various things from the festival. So that's another reason to come. But also, finally, I think that those who love nature have kind of an in on appreciating this music too. They use their appreciation of nature, or can use it, to also deepen their understanding of this music, which was inspired by nature. So I'm looking forward to, learning from those who come, who spend time in nature and have things to say from their own perspectives as well. So it should be a lot of fun. It's just an hour followed by a wine reception as a little bonus.
And that happens each Tuesday during the festival from 4 to 5 p.m. at the First Presbyterian Church. So.
Yeah, please come out.
Great, thanks. Well, any final thoughts about what you think potential audience members should know about the festival this year's season?
Oh, it's going to be such a great season. I might highlight two events that I'm personally really excited to listen to that people might miss in some of the, there's so many great things. On Friday, August 15th, we have a concert called The Soldier's Tale, which features a really amazing, iconic work by Stravinsky called The Soldier's Tale. This is a work for 7 musicians and narrator. So it's violin, bass, trumpet, clarinet, bassoon, trombone, and percussion, and a narrator. And it's a really fascinating kind of a satire story about a soldier who trades his soul to the devil for a violin. And you can imagine what happens after that. It's a really, I think, one of these stories that kind of in every day and age feels very current and relevant. And the performers who are doing it are really spectacular. Actually, the violinist and the narrator have actually toured this piece with a full production where they would do it fully theatrically. We're just doing a kind of a concert version, but it's really kind of an experience you don't want to miss. And we're pairing that piece with 2 other pieces based upon fairy tales. So I think it'll be a really neat evening of very dramatic music. And then the other one I wanted to mention is our matinee performance for this year, which is on Wednesday, August 20th. Aaron and the spectacular tenor Nick Pon are doing Schubert's The Beautiful Miller's Daughter, which is a song cycle. It's sort of like a story through songs, but it's one of the most beautiful pieces in the world. And I think to experience it in this way during the daytime with these great artists is going to be really spectacular. So those are just 2 you might have missed in the big lineup. So
great. Well, thank you very much. We're all very excited about the season. It begins very soon. You can learn more about our current season if you haven't memorized every date that Julie and Aaron gave us. And you can buy tickets if you go online to www.skanfest.org. Julie and Aaron will both be performing at several of the concerts, and they'll be presenting at all of our events. So thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks to you, Steve. It's great to be with you.